Good morning, folks. It's a morning, all right. I just realized that I didn't have all my tabs. Need to close some tabs. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I've not done a collab stream before, so this is all new. Kyle's just doing his warm up stuff. I'll probably be doing my warm up for a little bit. I don't know. I'm not shifting over because then it'll start picking up his audio from his stream. So I need to do some fuckery to get it all working. But yeah, welcome. We're going to be talking about Attack on Titan, the latest episode, because it was fun. Yes, Bacon, he is making us wake up. He messaged me at 20 past 1 this morning asking if I was down for a stream. Oh, man. Yeah, he said that the time that you guys streamed is basically the same as what we're doing here. It's wild. Yeah. Ooh, he wants to know how to say my name. Funnily enough, chat, there's a command that says my name. I don't know if it actually works on this stream. Mine was at least on a weekend. That's something. Yeah. It's a work day today. That's why it's so early, because I start work at 10. Hey, Antoine. Yeah, so just to let you know what's going on, I got messaged at about 20 past 1, half past 1 this morning. So about 6 hours ago, 6.5 hours ago, asking if I wanted to be on a stream discussing the Attack on Titan anime episode. So that's what we're doing. If you're worried about Attack on Titan spoilers, because we're both going to be talking about the episode in relation to the manga, probably something to be concerned about. But if not, feel free to stick around, enjoy. I don't know what time it is in the States. It's 8 a.m. here, and I'm tired as fuck because I didn't get to, I go to bed at 1 in the morning most of the time because I usually don't wake up till 9:30, and today I was up at 7:15 to get ready. So yeah, that's the plan. I hope you're doing well, Antoine. I've got Kyle's stream on. Feel free to... Oh, shit. Shit everywhere. Okay, I'm being asked to do my... Here's Kyle's stream. I need to mute his stream now if I'm gonna... I'm good. Sorry, my phone was muted. No worries. There's the other stream, by the way. Feel free to put it on. Just set the volume down really low if you want to hear me. Just a quick stream. Well, quick is interesting. We usually stream till Kyle's laptop. Kyle usually streams till his laptop's dead, and that can take up to 90 minutes. So, yeah, I'm literally just waiting. Killing time until he turns up. Well, Bacon, I'm going off of the fact that yours took 90 minutes. I'm on ours. Oh no. Yeah, well, if it gets to 10, if it gets to 5 to 10, I'll need to disappear. Okay, I think I'm about to get called. Hello? Perfect. I'll switch over to my other window now so chat can hear you. There we
Oh
go.
yes,
Cool.
Farah's also. I didn't tell the YouTube audience that yet, but here we are. We're ready. We're going.
Yeah, say hello to Kyle.
Be very nice. Should I have your chat up or something? I don't know if I have.
uh,
Well, I can't because I look at chat on my phone anyway.
I've got a
If
couple
I
of
had a
folks in my
proper
chat.
setup,
Bacon's in my chat, by the way, just so you.
well, that might be rights to sue. Yeah. Um, Bacon, if he was caught up, he could be here with us. If he gets caught up by next week, maybe we'll invite him, and if he's nice. But so generally, uh, should we do introductions of what our thoughts are generally on the anime? Because I know you, even last season or part, because we've split our seasons into two. You were very positive even then, when even I was a bit negative. Now we're both, I think, on the same train of being rather positive about this new part. So do you want to give your overall thoughts on the adaptation and how it's led up to this,
Yeah,
especially
sure.
with the Mappa saga?
Yeah, I mean, as you say, I've always been a bit positive. Funnily enough, in my sort of group of friends where we do the chat, I'm considered the most negative one overall, if you can believe it. Because I'm a big I'm still a manga boy at the end of the day. Like, I still think the
Yeah.
manga is the better
I did see
adaptation.
your sacrilegious. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Tweet about how you thought the Grisha scene was better in the anime. In fact,
That was what. Yeah, that was one exception, I think. Or better. I don't know. I'll need to, maybe I guess we'll need to look over the pages again as we go through it,
yeah,
just to be sure. But it was very well done. That episode in particular was really well. I thought was really well done. And it seems like there's been this sort of weird thing over the last few episodes where it feels almost like it's been made by like shot by like created by like different directors. You know how like when you watch like other shows
actually,
like I don't, like Game of Thrones or whatever, you get that sort of different style from each
yeah,
of them. It's felt like that for the last few, which has been really interesting because I would say the previous seasons, even like both Wit and Mappa, there was like that a very consistent sort of
yeah.
style throughout.
The yesterday in chat, because I don't think you were in chat yesterday. Chat did point out to me that I actually made this connection before they pointed this out to me, but I said some of the shots in this episode looked like Death Note shots from the last episode. I don't know if you've seen Death Note.
Uh, I've seen bits of Death Note. I'm trying to remember.
All right. So are you wary of spoilers for Death Note?
Oh no, I've read it. I've read the manga.
Oh, okay. So in the last episode, Light freaks out a little bit, and it's animated in a very specific way. The way Grisha freaks out in the episode, and some of the Eren faces, look very much like Death Note. And I actually pointed that out about how it looks like Light's like, what do you call it? Not a deconstruction, but when he falls apart. And then somebody in chat said that animator that worked on that episode worked on this episode. So
Oh really? Oh, that's really cool.
and I don't think traditionally he has. I think he was maybe brought in for this episode or maybe this season. So you're hitting the nail right on the head with that one. But yes, the directing has been the most interesting I think it ever has been for these last few episodes. Last time with the time stop and the sort of diorama thing, and then the key shot and all the. I compared it to the Berserk scene last time. That was all really good. I really never expected Attack on Titan to have this sort of directorial influence because, as you said, it's been very consistent.
Yeah.
When it was with Wit or whatever.
My friends have sort of jumped once again back on the AOT on the anime has overtaken the manga with the last couple of things. Like 119, like the 119 episode was very much in their view better than the manga. They feel like it was, one of them said it was a shot, there were some shots that could only be really truly captured in anime. I disagree with that take personally. I still think the manga did a phenomenal job, and I think you brought it up in your stream, not having that shot of Gabby, that full shot of Gabby, sort of
one,
that was a bit of a misstep.
That was the thing. I was very hawkish on this even maybe a few months ago, and definitely before that, especially if you've ever seen my Vinland Saga video about how manga is always better than anime or whatever, I've definitely changed on that a lot. I feel like now, because I see some things and I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. And I sort of just entirely separate them at this point. I don't try to compare them with which one was better or which one was worse. I definitely was doing that last part. I think it's just generally better to do things like that, especially I feel like I've gotten much more positive over the course of my YouTube journey here. So I like to look at even if like the Gabby thing, I like that in the manga, but I still see them as different things. So like maybe having the Gabby shot wasn't right for the anime or something. I still prefer the manga generally, but that's what I saw first, and I generally think that's how people operate. But
I think for the most part, although there is what is it? If you do want an anime that is just in every way better than the manga, go watch K-On! Everyone, go watch K-On!
Yeah, I've even heard B talk about that. The former Digibro, they talked about that in their video.
Yeah, I've put the Gabby shot in question up on screen.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
Bacon's
crying. What is
Bacon's saying that the wit director for season 1 of Attack on Titan was apparently the director of Death Note.
That's true. I do remember. I used to. If you would ask me 5 years ago, I would have known his name. But yes, everybody that made originally when Attack on Titan was being hyped up, and like if you watch YouTube videos about Attack on Titan in 2013, is it Tetsuya Araki? That might be the guy. Or maybe that's a different anime guy. But that was a lot of every YouTube video from 2013, I think, about Attack on Titan would start with it's the Death Note director guy. But yeah. But I don't think the chat was talking about a director. I think they were talking about an animator.
Right. Okay.
The director's probably animate.
I guess
maybe they were
animation
talking
lead.
about the same guy.
Presumably there was more than one animator on an episode. I'd be really worried about how much work they're having to do.
It does seem pretty consistently. I don't know. Maybe you don't think this, but I think this part has been pretty consistently better. And I'm sure that just comes down to the fact that like they're more familiar with the material at this point. Obviously they've learnt some things in the first part. I think they had more time. It would seem they had like a year and a half, I think.
They had more time, and that'll really have helped them with like their 3D, stuff as well. Because like once a lot of their time in part 1 would have been creating those assets and getting them all ready.
Yes,
but those are ready.
I was going to say that, but I didn't have the. Go ahead.
We know what's coming. We know what's coming in later chapters, so they'll obviously have all that work to do. But one thing I've been really impressed with is how much better the Beast Titan looks, because that was one of the things I was always really critical of for part 1. The Beast Titan looked like fucking ass in part 1.
I haven't even noticed the Beast Titan, like the way he looks, which I think might be a good thing, because I definitely was shitting on the CGI a little bit back part 1 time.
Yeah, it's definitely improved. I think it is just a case of time. Like 3D, to get the 3D looking good in an anime, you need the time, and I'm glad they finally had that. But part 1, they were so rushed to do that. Like they had, I think almost because of all the license issues, I think they had almost half the time that Wit would have had.
Yeah,
for a season.
It's insane. Now, to point out importantly, you would know more about the creative end of this because you work on video games for a living, correct?
Yes, I do.
Yes. So talking about assets and things like that, I was thinking about that. I was like, they had more time to create assets, but I didn't want to say that because I don't know if that's true, and I'd look like a ill-informed individual if I just said.
I think originally I was still concerned over how they would do stuff like some of the stuff that's going to be in the Rumbling, but considering I think the most intense stuff from the Rumbling is going to be in a film where they'll have more time and a huge budget.
Yes.
Unless they're doing a season 4 final season part 3, which seems wild if that happens. But that really shows that in terms of what they actually have to do, they have to do the beginning of the Rumbling, and they have to do Eren's Titan, and they have to do Ymir's Titan for the next episode. But outside of that. Yeah, I think the extra time it's really shone through how they've been able to allocate their resources, because that's all it is. Like whenever you're looking at any kind of creative process, you've got 3 factors, and it's like time, cost, and quality, and you can only have 2 of the 3.
Yeah.
Really.
this used to be an old internet meme. Now I always bring it back to Ava. I apologize, but people used to always say that Ava ran out of money, and then a lot of things came out afterwards where YouTubers would make videos about. And I'm thinking again of B, but they would always make videos about how Ava didn't run out of money; they ran out of time because Anno managed the time of the episodes wrong, and that's why the last 2 episodes of Ava are like that. So I think it generally that seems to be a rule of. A lot of the time, it is time rather than money. I think people just assume it's a money issue a lot of the time.
Yeah, I don't remember hearing anything about the budget. I mean, the animators, especially probably in Japan, will be crunched to death to do the project. But I think in terms of the overall resources, they probably have most of what they need. They just didn't have the time to do it. Like there were shots coming out that were like that felt unfinished. And if you've ever seen like any of the comparisons on YouTube, comparing comparing like the Blu-rays to the TV releases, they clearly wanted to tweak a lot of stuff. But at the same time, if you go back and watch the comparisons, like hardly anyone will have seen this. If you watch the original season 1 before they had time to touch it up, it looked pretty jank as well. There's some wild shots in that one. You cut out there, sorry.
That there was, I think it might have been episode 6 or something. Did I cut out? I think in like episode 6 in the original. A shot that just wasn't finished, like more than just like it looked really bad or something. I remember that was a meme. I'm reaching far back into the memory bank.
You're cutting out a bit again. I think the internet in your car is failing.
You think?
Unless it's on my end.
That can't be possible. It has gone down 1 bar. Is stream lag 0 kilobytes per second? This cannot be good. Can you still hear me? Because I don't think stream can.
I can hear you just now. Oh, your chat's saying rip.
Yeah. Yes, I have 0 backup. I'll keep the recording going because your audience might be seeing this. Rip. Hold on, chat. Might have to do some editing in the VOD then. Hold on, we got 600 kilobytes per second. We're flash and orange. Should I close some things here? That probably doesn't affect it too much. It can't even stop stream. It's still got the dots there.
Yeah,
hold on, it's back. It should be going completely. It shouldn't be coming back, but
you're coming in clear for me again.
A bit choppy. Oh, okay. Still on like 800 though. We got a dark orange for my OBS in the corner. I guess I just try to start streaming again.
Hello. Okay. Yeah, it seems back up now.
Now we definitely have to do some editing on the VOD. Shake my head, but here we go.
Editing.
We still got the connecting dots. Yes. I like to dump those VODs and then export them, but nonetheless.
I've actually starting the recording on my streams later, so I don't need to edit out the 5 minutes of stream starting soon now.
Yeah. Well, I usually don't dump the whole VODs on, so I have to do some editing. Oh, we got a could not specific channel stream key. Please double check your stream key. I think that means I got to close OBS. So I do got to stop the recording. All right. Let me reopen it here.
Sorry, Bacon. Didn't mean for you to get
God, I did have a point to get into right at the end, but it evaporated from me now. We'll never get.
I put that on. It's like, yeah. There you go. You can post your link again.
We are lagging a bit. Why is my? Do you think a restart of the computer would probably help, or it might?
I'm not too sure how to deal with internet stuff.
Yeah. All right, everything's loading now. I think I'll just start the stream again and see if we are successful.
Sending me.
We've got 0 kilobytes. Oh no, 500. Hold on. We're dropping some frames. We're back down from refugees from my channel, or is that not happened?
Miller's come over to my stream to say that we can just keep going, and then you can steal my VOD if you want.
I think
Although at the same
I'll
time,
try and reset the computer real quick.
Miller,
Go ahead.
he's cutting out for me as well, so I don't know how much that would help.
Yeah. I think. All right, I'll restart it. It shouldn't take more than like 3 minutes. All right.
No
Hopefully, we'll be
worries.
back real quick. All right, I'll
Right, so I'll wait for that. Okay, hello refugees from Kyle's chat. Welcome. God, it's so early in the morning. It's not that early in the morning. I'm just a lazy fucker who wakes up 20 minutes before work's due to start at 10 a.m. So, yeah, there's some good amount of it. How is everyone today on this fine, stupid o'clock in the morning? Or I guess if you're in the USA or Australia, totally normal times. In fact, I don't know what time it is in the USA right now. Alita Ari's here. Pretty good. I'm so good. Nice. Good to hear. Good to hear. And just so you know, your messages are not being missed because I'm 1025 Europe, so pretty good. That's decent. That's decent. Just so everyone's sort of aware of what my setup currently looks like. I can see both my chat and I can see Kyle's chat as well. So key stuff hopefully will not be missed from Kyle taking 15 minutes to look at the chat. I can actually talk and read at the same time. No way. Yeah, no, it's a thing. It probably helps that I've got a dual monitor set up.
I've got 4 full bars of internet, so we might be better. Tell me how I sound.
You sound pretty good. Have you moved to like the back seat of the car or something?
No, I'm always in the back seat of the car. In fact,
My
I wonder if
audience,
that's new lore. Have they ever specified?
Kyle streams from his car,
go ahead.
and we just got some new lore.
That's a secret. I don't tell anybody. All right, I'm gonna just try to start streaming. So if we fuck up and this fucks it up, then we might just go with a.
I mean, you don't necessarily need to record as well. I mean, not that I
body.
think that would be matter too much, but you could always just download the stream VOD and then convert it.
I have had to do that a few times when the recording's corrupt and things like that. All right, we're in the green right now, but I don't think we've officially gone live yet. I don't know. Somebody can check. I can check on my phone. Hold on, I'll chat again.
You're allowed to sit in the front unsupervised. You're not in a car. No, I'm not. I'm not in. I'm not in a car.
Click a thing here.
My avatar highlighting when you talk is awesome. Cheers. If we'd had,
I think we're good. We live.
If I'd had more time to set this up.
I'd
got
Kyle's
Kyle's
how do I
avatar.
say your name correctly?
Oh, you want to? God, is this the? It's not a big secret. It's Raika.
Raika, not Raicha.
Yeah. I mean, you can say Raicha if it's easier. Like, there are literally like the 4 pronunciations of like Reika, Raicha, Raika, and Raicha. All of them are fine. What's made worse is the fact that my avatar is called Ray, so it's like it's so.
Yeah. I think everything's right on my stream end. I think the reset might have helped. If we start having some troubles,
in Discord. Bacon's asking, or is that only for servers? I have no idea, Bacon. I don't know much about Discord. I've been using it for a long time, but I don't actually know anything. Possibly?
I think everything's going fine right now. I think.
Yeah. You're showing up as yellow connection for me.
Oh.
Whatever that is. It says 324
I have gone down to 3 bars.
I think that's actually just because of Australia and the fact that we have to send I have to send voice to the other side of the world. That's probably what that is.
Okay. Now, if only we weren't so far apart. But it closed on my tabs too.
Your chat's asking me to turn my volume up if you can.
Oh, that's right. Because Bacon was low too, and I was supposed to. How do I do this? How do I make? Because Bacon said it would probably be easier if I did it on my end. How?
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Bacon, tell us.
Yeah, that's probably okay.
I think it should just be a slider, right? Because you come through desktop audio. Oh, it has to be that because that's usually low. All right, speak.
Hello, chat. Am I coming through?
It's definitely louder. I can see it on the thing. Oh my god! Of course it was that obvious. Bacon even told me it was a slider in OBS, but I was like, no, Bacon. Of course it's not that. But of course it was.
Yeah, no, I turned the slider that I use up as well for that reason.
I guess I should make them even, right? You're still a little lower, so fuck it. Now you might be too loud. I'm sure chat will give us some feedback
Yes,
on
I'm
this
sure chat
regard.
will tell us. I was saying, by the way, in
All right, we
future,
should probably do it.
I actually have like an empty Discord server. So you know how I've got the reactive
Ah,
PNG that lights up when I talk. We could get one for you as well for
yeah.
next time we do this, and it'll light up
Oh,
on my
okay.
stream. But we can do that when I'm
All
not
right.
when you
We've
don't
got
give
him.
me 5.5 hours
Yeah.
notice.
Yeah. When we'll iron out the kinks over here.
Yes.
We should probably do like a reintroduction for YouTube or something. A bit too loud. Okay. So we don't want the slider all the way up. About here, maybe. We can continue adjusting.
I want to make it clear, by the way, to chat. I offered a sound test before we started streaming. But,
Yeah. But you got to capture the magical first words on stream. Wait, am I in the right chapter? Yeah, 120. I just got to scroll down. So we'll do a little reintroduction, and we'll get into it. We should probably start talking more specifically
yes.
rather than generally, I think. But
yeah, because as I said, I've got
all right,
an hour.
YouTube.
I've got about an hour and a half.
Yes. So the laptop will be dead long before then, so we should be fine. All right, let me do a little reintroduction. YouTube, sorry for the hiccup. We're back. My internet fucked up a little bit, but we think we're back and good. Now, we were talking generally about the anime and how we feel about things, directorially, about some Death Note bloke, but we should probably start getting more specific into
I'll catch you later on.
the episode.
I've muted
Now,
myself on
I was
Discord,
going to rewatch
so
the episode.
Kyle won't hear this.
I did scroll through it, but I didn't rewatch the whole thing today. So should we just go through chronologically through the chapter, or do you have any big points you want to hit on first?
I'm not sure I do have any big points. I was trying to remind myself which bits of the chapter they cut out. Like, obviously, we got the fleeting moment stuff. Now, obviously, some of 120 was covered in the previous episode. So the 120, the first like half of 120 was actually covered in the previous episode.
This is actually something I wanted to hit on before. How do you keep up on these leaks very much? Or do you want to avoid talking about them?
Leaks for the show?
For like where the next episode supposedly ends, because chat was telling me this. And,
I don't mind. I don't mind discussing that. I like to get. I usually like to speculate and guess.
Wait, so you don't want to talk about it? Or
no, I'm happy to talk about it and see where the speculation goes. Because my guess would have been that it ends at the end of 122, but that could be. Well,
the thing is, every time chat has told me when something ends, it has come true. So these, I would assume, are spoilers.
That's fine. Fire away.
So apparently, we do all of the Ymir stuff next episode, and we get to the speech, which means, because you were talking about potentially seeing the rumbling, we should see the first little bits of what the rumbling will look like at the end of next episode with the panel where the walls crumble and Gabby and Eren, little Gabby's on the ground and Eren is transforming.
Gabby being on the ground as Eren transforms, that's still 122.
Is it?
If you go to 122, that's the final shot of 122.
Yeah, it is,
it's
isn't
the
it?
giant, it's Eren's sort of Titan starting to spawn. But yeah, I imagine we could get a bit of 123. A little bit of 123 could probably fit in there. It would just depend how much they want to put in.
The point is that the Mikasa stuff from 123 is not in the next episode. They skip over that, assumingly to do it later, which is weird, to get to the speech, to put the speech in this episode too. So we probably won't end on this Gabby shot, even though I really like it.
Yeah, I feel like that would be the kind of... I suppose if they want to end on the Eren Yeager speech, then that also makes sense, because there's not a huge amount...
It's a hell of an end.
Yeah. It's definitely a hell of an end. I wonder how they're going to do that actual panel as well, by the way, because that panel is fucking wild.
The Devilman panel. Yes. I love it. We were even on 120. I skipped all the way to 122.
Just followed.
God, I did have a point.
Glutton Rules, thank you for joining Squad 7. Thank you. Welcome to the stream.
I think I'm trying to remember what I said yesterday because I was all over the place. It was a terrible stream. I talked a lot about the spatial framing of the shots I really liked in the episode, because obviously we are going through memories in this.
Naresti, thank you for following as well.
Chapters. So the way like Eren,
Welcome to Squad
there's like the
7.
one shot of when there's two shots where Grisha supposedly sees Grisha and Eren, and then later when he's just talking to them at the end of the episode. The first one with Zeke, where Zeke is like standing in front of him, I really like how it's framed where Eren is behind him, so he just literally doesn't see Eren because he's not looking at him and Eren is out of shot. The way Eren is like leaning against the wall, something about that I really like. I think that is in the chapter. I'm trying to scroll down to it.
Just in
That
120.
moment.
Is this in 120? Yeah.
This is 120,
Ah,
yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
found it.
Eren is kind of in the back, but because it's anime, right? You have to like construct the stage per se and figure out where everybody is standing. Whereas in manga, it's just a bunch of little frames. There are a lot more wide shots in anime and things like
Same
that.
time though, I
I
thought it
just
was
like
quite good.
how
I was just gonna say,
go
I don't,
ahead.
I don't know if you've seen the comparison videos from like that same shot from season 1 and how it's almost identical, and they didn't change the camera angles that
Yes,
much
yes,
either. They still had to fit Eren and Zeke in those existing shots from all the way
yeah,
back in season.
yeah.
They obviously reanimated them to be in their style, but
Yes.
they
We
had to
actually
like
watched
fit.
a video about this on stream yesterday. That's actually not the scene I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one in the basement where
Yeah, I've got that up on my
Grisha
stream.
freaks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But the later scene from episode 1, there's little slight differences, but we literally had a video up that was showing them side by side. And I actually noticed that in the episode. Because I've seen episode 1 so many times, like the diagonal shot and things
Yeah.
like that. It is really cool. That's a great little, like, you didn't have to do it that way, but they did. And it
They could have
wasn't literally
completely
reusing
retconned it if
things
they
because
needed
they had
to.
Yes, yes. There actually, if we skip down, oh, that's actually in the next chapter. But if we skip to that shot, they do change the like structure of the shot of the infamous shot, if you will, of Grisha looking at Eren, and it's like he planned it the whole time shot. Where if you go back to chapter 1, Grisha's eyes are distorted. You don't see it from that angle, so you don't see Eren or whatever.
Yeah.
In the anime, they're looking more front on to each other, but in the manga, it's a little more to diagonally, which I think kind of works better in the framing sense. So Carla and him are right next to each other, and Eren is to the side. That's just a little detail. I don't know why I was bringing that up. So
No, it's cool. I mean, even if that was like the fact that it's sort of shrouded in chapter 1, like even if Isayama didn't know exactly what he was going to do this
Yeah.
far on, it's kind of cool him leaving little hints for himself. It's kind of like what is it? Well, I mean, you saw the see you later, and he clearly had certain visual sort of moments in his mind when he first started this, and sort of put in points where he could bring them up, even if he didn't know exactly how he would get there or what the final result of it would be. He clearly had these sorts of points. I don't know if you've ever heard George R. R. Martin talk about some of his process for Game of
the
Thrones, but
gardener in the
he had moments for stuff like that where he had like certain phrases or sort of imagined moments in his mind that he knew were gonna be a key part of the of his story.
Yeah, well, that all builds off of that, but particularly there's something I have trouble explaining this, and I was having trouble yesterday. But there is something about the framing that I like. It's like in the shot the shot in 121. This one, I don't know. You probably don't have my stream up, but the one where it's Grisha revealing that he can see the future, and it's like framed so that Eren is in front of him. He's there, and then Zeke is kind of bewildered off in the background. I really like how they shot this in the anime. It felt very dramatic and very like it's almost like not like an album cover, but it's like the action panel of like where they're posing almost. I think it's really cute.
I've got your
should we
stream
just
up
talk
on my
about
stream, by the way, just for reference. But I am sort of finding chapter pages as we talk about them.
Yeah. We may as well just talk about the end part here with the Grisha and the Grisha freak out, because chat was rather negative yesterday. They were being pissy babies, but there's some, because I've seen a lot of very like high praise for this scene and some negative stuff about how Grisha's kind of overacting in this scene. Not this one that I've got up now. Also the a bit of censored violence here, but the Grisha freak out here. Now he is making some wacky faces in the manga. I came down yesterday. I said I do generally like the way it looked. The animation in that scene, chat was even admitting was very good. Maybe some of the performance from the voice actor was a little much, but
See,
Go
I
ahead.
quite liked it. I mean, I'm trying to remember. So, like, because there were two bits of dialogue that I felt were almost conflicting. At this point, have the walls fallen? Has the first wall fallen? Or
Yes,
is it
we
on the
talked about
verge?
this a lot. We were all confused about this yesterday as well in chat about
Because if it has,
because
it means he knows it's fallen, but he doesn't know about Carla, and he doesn't know about the
Carla's
fate of
dead.
Carla. Because he asked about Carla, but it's like, surely if he'd heard the wall had
Yeah.
fallen, the first thing he'd have done is gone to check
Now
on his
we actually
family.
we
But,
actually figured this out a little bit. Now, if you look at the shot, I don't know if it's up or down in the chapter. I think it no, it is up. Um, so Grisha knows. Grisha gets on a boat. Is it up? Can I scroll up and find it? It has to be here. Now, it is here. Now, Grisha leaves. Now, originally, I think I thought Grisha says that he's going to the interior to check on a patient. Now, I originally thought that that was a lie and that he had chosen that day to go see the Race family. But that's not true. I think he actually does have a patient in the interior and he's going to see them. And he gets on this boat. And if you look at this frame of the boat, it seems like everybody is getting off the boat and everybody's rushing up to them to give them the news. Now that means Grisha is already in the interior and this boat is not going back the other way. So he could transform theoretically and jump over the walls, but I think in this moment he realizes he knows the wall has fell, but he doesn't know how his family is. But he's very close, I assume, to the Race estate, which we know he already knows the location of. So he decides to go there instead and ask for help.
right,
Um,
that would make some sense, I
this
guess.
did take like 20 minutes to puzzle out on stream yesterday. But that being said, I feel like the implication, like 70 chapters ago, there's a shot in the anime in episode 1, I think it is, where Grisha is rushing back and
Hmm.
he's crying and he's clearly already heard. Now this might be an anime only thing that's fucking me up here, but it's the shot on Grisha on horseback and he's like, "Carla, Eren, I hope you're safe," and clearly he's heard. Well, gross. He could have just been riding towards the Race estate. I think the implication, and definitely how you're supposed to view it at the time, is like he's rushing back to them because we know he ends up going back to. Well, I guess they're not in Shiganshina, right? They would be in Trost, because we know he goes to get Eren and Shardis sees him,
Hmm.
and then he goes off to give Eren the power. Um, so I think it makes sense that he doesn't understand that he doesn't know that Carla is. I guess if you want to point into plot holes, it would be like in that situation, I think probably the best course of action would be to just transform, jump over the wall, and try and run, though that's probably a long time. We'd have to assume the boat trip is like a couple of hours. It depends,
Yeah,
because he just says the interior, I think. So that could be like the third wall, or it could be
I mean,
Trost.
I
It
think so
would
because
depend.
the Rice Estate is inside the second wall, isn't it? It's not in the interior. It's inside the.
I wouldn't know. I don't think I remember.
I think
But
it
I'll
must
take
be
your
because
word.
it was heading towards the outer wall of the inner district, the Rod Rice Titan. So yeah, I mean, I guess
Yes, that
considering
is
how
true, of
little
course.
time passes between, because what happens? His dad goes out to see the client, and in that time, Eren gets into a fight, and then short to rescue Armin, or rather, the bullies run away
Yeah,
when they see Mikasa, and then right after that, we have the attack. So yeah, the
yeah.
news would have probably reached him, but then again, it also would have been impossible to find anyone in that kind of chaos, especially once the Armored Titan broke through the wall and just opened the
Hmm.
floodgates.
That is true because Eren's on a boat when Ryan breaks through,
Hmm.
and the boat's already taken off. Um, so yeah, I think it makes sense, but it did have everybody confused yesterday. Um, oh, more if we can talk instead of like the logistics of the scene, generally of the scene overall. Miller, I remember, was complaining about the dramatic music in the scene and how he really likes this moment with the "I love you" moment with Zeke, and he didn't picture um dramatic music playing. I think it works. I think it fits a lot. I like that
Yeah,
it's like carried over from the previous scene.
so I thought that
Go
was an
ahead, go ahead.
element. Again, there's some stuff the anime's done really well, like to do with like I think Grisha's voice actor has been phenomenal. Like
Yeah,
the Zeke
especially the
flashback
last.
chapter
Yes,
after he
yes,
got blown up. That I remember not being that I don't remember enjoying that chapter very much, but the episode
yes.
was probably one of the best episodes of season 4 part 1. And
Yeah,
again, I think it
I
was
definitely
Grisha's
get
voice
that.
actor who carried that for the most part. And again,
Yeah,
we've got it
the big
here.
scream
Yeah. He's very good at doing
when
like
Zeke
that.
taps over
He's
the
very
door.
good at doing that sort of screamed, that
Yeah,
pained scream, I guess. That's
yeah. Oh, I did have a big thing yesterday where I complained about the anime tiers and how I like the manga one stream tiers rather than the double stream tiers, but that was just a little meme point. But it is interesting that they do the tiers differently. Um, they're both very thick though, which is a little weird.
Yeah,
Also, I talked about, I think last week when we were doing the thing, I was talking about how they were going to adapt the hand kiss because I really like how that's integrated into these, like the backgrounds of these pages, and even the framing down here
yeah.
on
Because
this
I guess
one,
it's
where it's like
similar. They had
framed
to
into
come up.
here.
They had to come up with like a solution uh,
Yeah,
similar
I
to
think the
like
way they did it
what is
was
it?
really good, by the way.
Yeah, the way they did it in like the last episode as well was really good. Like because previously it had just been like it was just like
Yeah.
like the shattered sort of almost like the shattered
Oh yeah,
mirror
yeah.
effect. And yeah, I think like they're definitely finding interesting ways.
A lot the framing and the directing is very interesting. I never thought Attack on Titan would have that engaging of directing. They've always had nice action animation and stuff like that, but I don't remember. Now I haven't watched like any of the other seasons in quite a while, but the directing has stood out as something like I would have put on a wish list and never imagined.
Hmm.
That's really interesting, and I like about it a lot about season 4, part 2.
Yeah,
Um,
they've definitely. I think
about the
yeah, at the time they've definitely sort of found their footing. They've definitely found their footing a lot more. And if this is like
yeah.
sort of indicative of where we're going, then the move, in theory, the next few
Oh,
episodes should all be stellar, and the movie will be phenomenal.
yeah. The fuck, I lost my point completely.
Miller's saying the
Oh,
music
I
is
was
there to
gonna say
focus on the
the
conflict with Eren rather than the emotion between Grisha and Zeke. In my opinion, I kind of get
yeah.
what you're saying, but I think it's all part of the wider sort of scene of what's happened. This, I mean, Grisha's still also. I mean, there's still a lot of conflict between Grisha and Zeke in general, and like Grisha's
Yeah.
internal conflict and Zeke's internal conflict and how he feels about his father.
I think the to get to the directing point a little bit, I think that Attack on Titan gets a little bit like it didn't always have these types of framing things like the Eren not Mikasa Historia stuff here, with like the hand grab and the vague Historia leaning out her hand. I think it might just be a reflection of like the manga gets a lot more creative and kind of abstract here, so the anime is doing a lot of interesting framing stuff. They might
Mm-hmm.
be it might be inspired by the manga here, which I think is it's cool to like to try and meet the standard and get a bit wackier as Isayama gets a bit wackier. Now we'll definitely see this in the next episode, with how
It was.
abstract the Ymir stuff is, with how little dialogue there is. But yeah,
I'm just looking through. I don't know if you've got my stream up at the chapter. One thing that's quite interesting that the just sort of trying to see that the
get it
anime
up.
had that the manga didn't. In the scene where he's kissing the hand just before going back to paths, there's a shot we get in the anime of child Eren with that sort of the I'm gonna kill
Yes,
every last
yes,
one of those
yes.
animals.
There's God damn it! I put your goddamn URL in wrong. I can just click it here.
There's an A in there, but
Now I have your stream up in the background. Yes, yes. The hold on. What did you just say? Because I was about to go off of it.
this shot here, there's a scene in the anime of like child Eren,
Oh yes, little Eren. Yes, yes, yes.
but it's like the sort of the super angry shot from like chapter 2, I think. Let me just get that up.
Yeah. Oh, it's actually redone because I think I actually had this in my most recent Attack on Titan video. It's redone at the beginning of Return of Shinganshi. And I know the exact frame that they modeled it after. It would be like chapter 74 or something. But yes, it's a great shot. I like they were intersplicing cuts of Eren's face a lot, which I really did like. Yeah, that's just like a cool little directorial thing. There was something else though. It was more specific that I wanted to go off of. But my brain is empty, chat. You're aware of this. It was about the thing, and Miller said something about the dramatic music, and I guess we just got to get off it. Well, where do we go from here? We've kind of skipped to the big talking point. Generally, I think I really like the way they did this.
Yeah, for sure. I thought, I'm trying to think, is it the best episode of this half of the season so far? It's like 119, like the previous episode I also thought was really, really good.
Yeah.
But like it's hard for me to make any kind of, it's hard for me to assess that one because chapter 119 is like literally one of my favorite chapters in the entire series, so it's really hard to judge the anime when I've got such strong sort of attachment to that chapter. But this chapter,
I think I said, yeah.
was just, yeah, this chapter was something else. It was phenomenal. Like chapters that I tend not to, that I think, are good and really interesting, but aren't necessarily up in my favorites. They're the ones that I notice the most when the anime
They're
fucking
elevating.
pops off. Like with the
It
Zeke
seems to be
flashbacks.
consistently Zeke ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I think that's
Um,
because we brought up Zeke isn't that great a character in the manga. Like he's fine, but in the anime they've really
Yeah.
put the work in to sort of cover up. And the thing is, I don't even think they've had to change that much. I think a lot of it's just been delivered by presumably the voice actor.
Yeah.
I don't really know what's
I say
different.
this. Oh yeah, yeah. First off, on the episode thing, I think last week I said that the episode 3 I liked better than 4, but I can't remember episode 3 at all. What happened in episode 3? That would have been the one before last. It was it was the Gabby one with the birdcage meme. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Or was that 2? I don't remember, but
how many episodes
have all of them have been good.
That would have been 2 because we've just had 4.
So that would have been 2. Okay, yes. I was thinking this was 5, but it's not. 5 is next week. So I think I might have liked 2. I really liked all. I've liked them all. So I think they're all generally pretty consistent. I do really like the abstract shit we got last time with the with like Eren's vision and the Mikasa running, and we see the Mikasa shot and then the key shot and then all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that was I probably like that more. Another scene that I think we should hit on from this episode was the Mikasa one. This also hits on something you just said about the Zeke stuff being made better in the anime, or making up for it in some way. I've said this a lot in our previous reviews as well, and I said it a lot last night, about how anime generally makes things more obvious, I think, just in they can tie music to it, they can do a dramatic sound cue or something to make you really hint on things, and it sort of hits you easier in the anime. I think that happens a lot with the Zeke, like more subtle panels, like when something is just like a bottom panel, your eyes can sort of skim over it as you're rushing to see the next page, whereas in the anime, they sort of everything gets the same sort of focus because everything is a wide frame. Instead of like manga
absolutely.
where you chop it up and
I get what you
panel
mean.
things.
Yeah. Although
now this specifically, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm still gutted that they didn't have the shot of Zeke way back when Willie Tyler was giving his speech and said, "I was born into this world." Having the Zeke panel there in the manga was so fucking good because you don't even think about it the first time you read it.
And he's looking back. It's good. It's good. I remember the panel.
But I think that would have been. I think again because of the nature of like wide shots and high and focus, that's a tiny little bit of a page in the manga.
Yeah.
Probably just wouldn't have worked on the big screen as like a focus shot. But
on the Mikasa scene here, there's a lot more movement seemingly in the scene in the episode that I like a lot, and also this is kind of what we're talking about here, where there's a shot of Eren looking at them here, but it's only small, whereas it's a wide shot in the anime, and it's just sort of Zeke's like, let's go, and we sort of freeze, we kind of get a sound cue, and it's like Eren is still looking. Clearly he has some sort of emotional attachment to his memories here with Mikasa. Again, it's made more obvious in the anime. Generally, I really liked this scene. Generally, I really like this Mikasa scene, and I can't remember exactly what I liked so much about it. I don't think this is the moment where Eren gives the deadpan, like, "You've convinced me." I think that's definitely earlier. That was another funny moment that I'm thinking of now.
I've just noticed something. If you scroll down a little bit when Grisha, this is just completely out of it. When he's surrounded by the happy kids, that he just goes up a little bit. There you go. Is that Flagle?
Yeah.
Is that like child Flagle?
Flagle. Hold on. Who's Flagle? Is he the booze guy?
The Reeves, the Demo Reeves kid, the guy who takes over the Reeves company in the Royal Government arc. That looks exactly like him as a kid.
Maybe.
Am I making this up? It's just a really wild sort of little thing.
Do you have my stream up? I am looking at the right kid, right?
Yeah, that kid there.
My mouse is like, he does have freckles. He's a little more handsome, this kid, than Flagle, but maybe.
Sorry, it was just a really random thing I looked up, and I think age-wise it wouldn't make sense because if this is in chronological order, then this would have been when Eren was 9. And
Flagle looks a little older than Eren.
Yeah.
Right?
He didn't. Yeah, I don't think he's meant to be 15 in season 3. It was just a funny thing.
Yeah. Maybe. Um, I don't know if I have much more to say about the Mikasa scene. Um, Scrolling through here, any other big scenes we want to hit on? Or directorial choices, or how they switch things up. Oh, I didn't mention yesterday that Frida came off a lot more crazy in the anime than I think she does here in the manga. Oh, another thing they focused on the. Oh, another thing before we get into this. Another thing. People were also potentially mad that they didn't make it more obvious that Eren saw all these memories 4 years ago when he kissed Historia's hand. But then if you scroll down to where they cut the episode, like the next line is Eren specifically saying that. So I think that'll be addressed next episode.
Yeah, I mean,
that was another
from
big
watching some of the reaction stuff, some of the reactors seemed to have gauged that. You know what though? The funny thing that got me was that I had sort of put out of my mind that scene with Kruger talking about Mikasa and Armin. So the memories of the future actually hit a lot harder, but a lot of the reactors were like, yeah, I already theorized this was a thing because of such and such.
Yes, because they did the Falco stuff, because Falco sees memories. Well, I guess they are memories of the past, but I think a lot of people assume they were memories of the future because they were like, oh, this means Falco is obviously going to get a Titan later. I watched the Normie specifically, and I think they confused those things of like the reveal that the Titan can see the future memories. They didn't really react at all to that. They were just like, yeah, we already know.
Yeah, there's been a few reactors that have been like that, and I'm like, that's kind of wild, because when I read it, now obviously I read it years apart. A lot of reactors have jumped on the bandwagon, so they'll have like blitzed through seasons 1 to 3 right up to season 4, so a lot of it will still be fresh. But when I read it, there was a lot of stuff that wasn't fresh, I'm fairly certain.
I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be a reveal, right? I guess we can look at chat and they'll call us idiots if we've got this wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is supposed to be a reveal.
But I mean, it's an Isayama reveal in the way that, you know, it's not necessarily the surprise of the actual reveal, but what it means. Like, I'm sure you brought this up when talking about like the Reiner and Bertolt reveal. Like, it wasn't meant to be that big a surprise because Reiner looks like the Armored Titan and Bertolt looks a bit like the Colossus Titan.
Well, he's the tall one, so
so Miller's you're meant to know how else was true to see Mikasa and Armin, but that's the thing, it's setting up the seed for it. But by the time this came around, if you were reading chapter per chapter, that would have been years apart and you'd have probably forgotten.
Yes.
Or at least it would be in the very back of your mind rather than
I'm just looking at chat. The reveal is that it's the Attack Titan only. Yeah, that's part of the reveal, that it's like because each Titan has its special power, but it always seemed like Eren's didn't really.
Yeah, and the purpose for having that is so it can resist the crown, resist.
I also because you are go ahead.
I was gonna say it's interesting that is part of it, but it's like Ymir never rebelled or never tried to resist, so it's interesting that was still a part of her Titan, which I guess kind of ties into the thing that Isayama tried to convey, albeit not very well, that Ymir was like in love with the king and didn't just like that whole thing's messy. It's not something
we'll talk about this at a later date. Because going off your point of like the anime, like sometimes you put things out of your mind and the anime like reveals them again and you're like, oh, and then a bunch of things click in your head. That happened with me a lot with like sort of the thematic conflict here of like, I remember, because again, I'm kind of repeating myself from what I said on stream yesterday, except we're saying it much better today. The moment where Zeke hears Frida and is like, I'm kind of down with this chick. She's got the right idea. I remember when I first read it thinking that was like the weirdest line ever and how it didn't really make sense. It just immediately clicked. Like, Frida wants the Eldians to take the burden, so does Zeke through euthanasia, whereas Eren is very much firmly on the extreme opposite end of no. They will take the burden, we will prioritize ourselves. Just sort of setting up that thematic conflict of like we're sort of on opposite extremes, and then the scouts and sort of Grisha are more in the middle.
No, I get it. I'm looking at the Frida panels, and she looks a lot more sane. She looks a lot less cult-like in the panel, which is going, so long as we remain ignorant and accept the world's rage, we Eldians will be the only ones who have to die.
this is in the anime, but again, I think it's a little more played into in the manga. There's a very obvious conflict within Frida here. Everything, like, I remember there's the one shot I think it's at the end, or maybe
I think the anime did a much better job of showing her like with the king's will taking over, like the way the eyes change color
Yes.
in the anime. Like that's like, as much as I love the black and white of manga, it's inevitably easier to depict that in.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if that was a thing in the manga, right? I think that was something that they started doing in like season 3 with part 1, where they basically made it that the founding titan activated has different eye color, whereas it's just kind of the shape in the manga, obviously, because there's no color. But
yeah, let me see. Yeah, you can see that. If, I'll get it up on mine. So it's almost like the detail level, I guess.
Yeah.
Like just like how Isayama's drawn it, she's got like.
Yeah, the shading is a little different. It is a different color.
Yeah. What's chat saying?
Yeah.
Specifically, what's your chat saying?
My chat. Ugh.
Always thought Kruger set
There's
up
no
mystery.
scene where Frida. No, there's the scene where Frida freaks out at Historia to go past the fence. On the Frida thing, real quick. Just I kind of like Frida. She's always seems conflicted, and again, I think this is a little bit more reflected in the manga chapter here. But I always think of the shot. I don't know when it is, but Eren remembers a shot of her like sitting near the fence. Historia isn't in this shot, but she's just sort of like grabbing her head, clearly like she's very conflicted because her and Yuri, before they get the power, they agree with Rod. They tell Rod like, yes, when I get the power, I won't just sit around and do nothing. I will go and kill the Titans or whatever. Yeah. But when they come out, they've got the eyes, and
I think there is that. I think again, both Isayama, all memes aside about his drawing ability, really captured that sort of sadness of like just having their will. They're knowing, like they're knowingly having their will sort of stripped away when they take the power. That look on their face. I think Rod talks about it when Yuri first arose from the, when he appeared after consuming their father, he could see straight away that the vow had taken hold.
Yeah. He does specifically have that line, I'm remembering that now. Another thing, just the... You got something?
Yeah, I was just looking at this comment from Miller. I think it's interesting. This probably hasn't always been an Attack Titan thing, only just because Eren and Zeke come in contact here. I mean, my theory, how I've been thinking about it, is that the Attack Titan power of seeing the future isn't really, because it's the weird time thing, because Eren technically has existed throughout the entire 2,000 years now, because when he comes in contact when he becomes the founder, he then sort of sees over everything. So I wonder if the Attack Titan power isn't the only reason it has it is because it's Eren who chooses to send those memories back to previous Attack Titans.
I think there's actually two things. That could be a thing. I think there's two things. I think part of it is that Eren is mixing Titan powers, so he has like multiple, because I don't know if they've ever said in history if other characters have had multiple. The second thing is, I think it might more so be, and I might be wrong here, that Eren is the last Attack Titan, so everybody can see up to his memories or whatever, but he has them all because he's the last one. Now, obviously, at this moment, anime-onlys don't know Eren is the last Attack Titan. But sort of how it all ends with him, so it's always been him is more so like the Eren's drive or whatever has existed in all the Attack Titans previously.
Yeah, but what I mean is, like, because when Eren says that his head's all screwed up because he's basically existing in all periods of time, once he sort of gains the Founder's power, unlocks the Founder's power. Yeah. Like, he talks about how he sent Dinah or he stopped Dinah from killing Bertolt and all that. So I wonder if, like, the Attack Titan's power comes from Eren. So rather than it being some genetic thing that the Attack Titan gets off of Ymir, it's future Eren choosing to send those memories back all the way down the chain as necessary, and that's where the perception of the power comes from, rather than anything else, because it's Eren at the end of the fixed time loop sending everything back to make sure everything happens.
There was, before I forget, there was another thing we talked about with Grisha yesterday, about how it could be orchestrated by Eren to get Grisha away from the family so that Carla can die and Grisha can go and do what he needs to do with the Race family, because he obviously leaves with Eren and Zeke. So it could be the case that Eren, to orchestrate both Carla's death so younger him would be traumatized, he has to get Grisha out of there, and that's why Grisha goes on the boat. And like he only gets the news once they get off the boat, and the specific timing of all that that could have somehow been orchestrated by Eren also.
I think like it definitely puts into context a lot why Eren is such a fucking gloomy bastard once he actually gets the Founder's power and starts perceiving everything. Because that's always something I think was always pointed out as like, I think some people on like various subreddits pointed that as like a character inconsistency, the fact that Eren seems so fucking determined throughout all of it despite seeing the future. But obviously like the difference between him seeing glimpses of the future, and we already knew that he wanted to kill everyone anyway, like he's said as much, and it was very clear from his character up to that point that he would 100% be the type of person to unleash the rumbling, regardless of whether that was intended or not.
Yeah, he would have done it anyway.
Once he comes in contact with the Founder and the full realization of everything and how it's been leading up, and the realization that he's been a slave the whole time.
Yeah.
Slave to his own fate. It's just interesting. It's less of a character flaw than I think people... less of a writing flaw than I think people think it is.
There was another thing, because I think we were talking about this in terms of like a conflict in Eren's character as well yesterday, was the fact that he continues to say, like, I've always been like this, and they reiterate to the final panel thing of Grisha holding Eren as he's born and saying, you are free, as if that sort of set Eren's personality or agenda in stone from the beginning, to where he is kind of not controlled, but then he kind of always has been controlled through the like time slave, him controlling himself through the future type thing. If I think about that more, maybe that is the point about Eren's character, is sort of these inherent conflicts or inconsistencies, but hopefully I think about that a little bit before I make this goddamn fucking ending video part 2. But
my father didn't make me that way. I've always been like this since birth.
Yes.
If someone tries to steal my freedom away, I won't hesitate to take theirs.
Yeah. I think that's... We got other things to talk about. Can you think of any other scenes? We didn't exactly go chronologically, but
I'm just sort of scrolling through. I think the anime, like, even though I think it could have had the stuff with Eren chasing after the Founder, I still think it ended on a good shot with like the close up of Eren.
Yeah. It caught me off guard. I was kind of sucked in. I was like, oh, it's already over. And I don't think I've ever been like that for any of the other episodes. So,
something I saw being memed on like TikTok and stuff. How fucking ripped Zeke is in the anime. Like in the manga, he's pretty ripped, but the anime just like that man has never had a glass of water. You know what?
Sort of something I touched on.
The censorship as well was kind of wild, but then again, they probably had to make up brownie points after the decap scene.
Now, I was actually going to bring this up, because if you look in the preview, they actually have some of this scene in the preview, so it's possible that it's not censored, it's just in the next episode. Minty pointed this out to me, that if you look at the next episode preview, it does have shots of Grisha and Frida fighting.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
I don't think it'll be this extreme.
I saw the preview before I saw the episode, because you know how it is, little bits of the episode get spliced up and put on YouTube before it releases, because they'll have recorded it off the Japanese. So I saw the preview before I saw the episode, and I saw... Yeah, you're right. I saw Grisha and Frida, and I was like, "Wait, what is in this chapter?" Because that happens pretty soon. So, yeah, it's kind of wild.
So, let's not write off the censorship yet. Maybe they'll come through again. They've been lots of blood in this season. More than the first part, I think, definitely.
Yeah, and again, like the decapitation scene, they basically didn't hold back. It was very quick. Like they sped it up a lot, just to have it on screen for as little time as possible. And I imagine that was potentially a compromise to allow them to have it in full view without...
I mean, we did get the head twirling off and everything. I think it was on screen for a decent amount of time.
But what I mean is, I feel like considering like everything had obviously been super, super slow up to that point, and then it's so visceral, so sudden, so instant. Like the way they approached it, like I think the way the shock value is built up in the manga. Because obviously in the manga, because it's at a static pace, you will stop and stare at that panel for a while, just being like, what the fuck?
Especially because it's the last page.
Yeah, but the anime, you don't really have that time to think, because it just all happens so quickly, but you do see it happen. It's great. Again, as a someone who enjoys watching the React Bros, it was it was quite an entertaining one to watch.
Yeah, I've still only seen the one. But yeah. Um, Looking to next week, I think we're relatively done with this. We obviously get the big chapter next week. I'm nervous. I have a hesitant confidence in them now that I thought would have been impossible. If you had asked me 5 weeks ago if I would be confident that they would do the Ymir chapter well, I would have called you a lunatic. But here we are. So I'm relatively excited.
I wonder how, like,
Hopefully
I
my
want
heightened expectations don't bite me in the ass. But yes.
one thing that I think is very important is we need to hope that the shot of Amir watching that couple getting married, like the significance of that.
Focused on a little more. Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, it is a full page,
Please.
almost a full page thing, but not a double spread, but just like a.
Yeah. It is. It's the title page, isn't it? Oh no, it's not. I really like the beginning here. I just don't think they can do it. There's no way. I really liked. I actually talked about this yesterday about how important the first pages are in sort of chapters because it's been a month and it sort of lets you know what the chapter is going to be. Because I remember opening this chapter for the first time and being like, oh my god, it's fucking happening. You realize we're talking about a Ymir, you see the title and it's like, holy fuck. Is this the last fucking chapter? What the fuck? And you scroll through and it's some old-timey bullshit. We're back in time and we are seeing the founder. It's
I wonder if they'll do
real.
anything interesting with the art style because it's such a, like, even though it is just a memory, I guess, or a flashback scene.
Yeah.
I would be interested to see if they do anything interesting in terms of its direction. And I wonder if we'll see more Ymir destruction. Because her Titan is great and does not get enough screen time in the manga.
It is cool looking. Now, two things. The leaks have said that they are adding some stuff here. Now, hopefully it's just sort of general violence things and not anything too substantive. I guess I'm begging for filler with what I'm saying here, but yes. Also, in the preview, there is one shot of old Eldian-looking blokes riding on horses. I think it is the scene where they are chasing Ymir through the forest, Ramsay style from Game of Thrones. It looks generally the same sort of art style as
I wonder how they're going to do Ymir's daughters eating her corpse, because that scene is visceral as fuck.
It's insane. The page before this, where he's cutting her hand off, is even more visceral, I think. But this shot has already been in the anime.
It has, although it was in a very sort of artistic sort of style. What I mean is, if we want to put this in the visceral reality, I cannot wait to see all the videos of people going back and watching the ED from fucking... It was season 2, wasn't it? The season 2 ED.
Season 2, before we even knew, before us and the know even knew what we were looking at.
This scene here, I hope is real. The scene you're looking at, I hope is really fucking good. The Ymir rising from the...
Yeah. It's a really cool shot, and she is giant. But yes, the little part here of the hand getting chopped off and the motion in this bit here, there's probably a little bit of a delay. And sort of the king becoming more and more deranged and sort of decrepit and gross.
Yeah. I want to see. I really hope they get a good voice actor for him, because even stuff like the "What are you doing?" rise. I know that no mere spear can kill you. Just because the way they do the flashback is you don't see anyone's eyes or anything. You have to just sort of make assumptions. He just looks like... He doesn't look like insane. He just looks kind of... I'm trying to think of the best word.
It's a very Attack on Titan thing. He feels like sort of standoffish, like guarded sort of way. I've talked about this scene a lot, and a lot of people call me an apologist for this dude because I say that maybe he did care about her in this moment more so than just an extension of his power. There's something about this scene that is very nuanced. Nuanced is sort of a cringe word, but it's very there's layers to it, I think.
It doesn't.
The only thing now that
it
I'm
doesn't
thinking
need
about
him going nuts. Him just sort of sitting there, almost like matter of factly. Like it's more of a sort of irritation that she's dead because he just in his mind just cannot even fathom the idea that someone like Ymir could die. So it's not almost like not hit in.
Yeah, it's kind of like a delayed reaction type thing. Because the
her
kids
daughter,
are crying. This page specifically...
I was going to say her daughters are devastated.
Which is crazy because they then made it Ito. But the shot here sort of the distant shot of him from underneath and then the more close-up shot kind of gets that across of like the shock sort of in him that this could happen. Because obviously she could regenerate from this. But I think he looks down on her and realizes she's not coming back. It's the whole thing.
Maybe hoping for an escape from the spear. I don't know. Again, there is the arguments about the love and the Stockholm Because she does look
Yeah.
like her. She does have like quite a lot of determination to try and save him.
I think more than a general love, I think it might just be that it might tie into the Zeke. Now we're getting into speculation about rationalizing the ending, but I think it might get into the Zeke thing of like finding purpose. She had a purpose, a reason to live through like serving the king, and she
Mm,
liked that. And then through Mikasa, she has to learn to get a different purpose,
yeah.
as Mikasa does. But that's a fucking. We'll
Let's
talk
see.
about that in future videos, I'm sure.
What's chat saying? Preview's pretty good, not gonna lie.
This
Next episode animation looks fantastic. It's a miracle we saw Eren's head coming off. I still can't believe it. If you look at the preview, the atmosphere of the flashback feels kind of grim, and the colors feel. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like maybe the cut, maybe everything would be a
Yeah,
little almost like washed out, or sort of like
yeah.
that grim because it's a very fucking grim time because it's like what it's 2,000 years
It
ago,
very
so
much
it's
is.
like
Yeah. I'm very open to art style, anything being a little bit different. Another thing I wanted to point out, because again, the only reaction I did watch was the normies reaction. Um, and I was for sure when I was watching it by myself that like this is the moment that every anime only has to think is the Eren heel turn. Heel turn in wrestling is when a character turns bad, kind of officially. I'm like, there's no way, like, because it's so visceral and Eren like made Grisha kill the fucking kids and everything. Like this, and he looks so evil when he's whispering in his ear. Like this has to be the moment where everybody goes, "Fuck Eren," but the normies would double down and they were like, "No, I think I'm more on Eren's side than ever." I was like, "Okay,
I think they'll get to a
I
point though.
guess."
Wait till they see the rumbling animated. Then we'll wait till they see little Ramsey
Yeah, getting his head stomped in.
getting his head stomped. Yeah. I mean, I watch a bunch of them.
Um,
They do vary. There's like variation on thinking that Eren has just gone to
yeah, of course.
gone completely off the rail.
Yeah,
Some thought they were already there. There's been a surprising amount of nuance in the anime only react fandom
yeah.
that I've been appreciating. But again, I watch like
They
quite a
don't
lot of
seem
them.
to be of. Yeah, yeah. They don't seem to be very poisoned by sort of like the manga conversation. Like I don't see a lot of them bringing up that like they've heard that the ending is bad. I've actually been seeing a lot of tweets very recently about like very condescending pro ending tweets with like 3K or like 5K likes. It's been kind of interesting because it'll just be like, you know, when Twitter does this annoying thing where it's like this person is talking about this topic and it's not somebody you follow, they're just like advertising a tweet to you.
Hmm.
I've seen a lot of them in the Attack on Titan topic that have been like, actually, Mikasa, this is a great panel. Mikasa didn't betray herself by putting the scarf back on or whatever. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not the only one out here. But
Yeah.
it's kind of cute. So I think it was generally overblown how many people dislike the ending.
For sure. I mean, like again, I think with the anime onlys as well, there's a bit of an advantage where they don't have to wait a month to speculate and
Yes,
stew on what's
of course.
happening next. Like they have a week.
They don't get to get into fights on Reddit constantly about Eren and get jaded and
And also, I guess
Yeah.
as well, maybe a part of it, they know that obviously the entire anime is basically, they've animated it, it's all been done. They know that there's gonna they
Yeah.
almost know that like a plan has been made. But with the manga, we were very much like waiting month on month for Isayama to just come up with it a lot of the time. Like I'm sure he had initial stuff ready,
Yeah.
but there was that month of just
It's
speculating and everyone sort of fighting in the
Speculation.
dirt, trying to work out what's going to happen. And a month is a long time for something like that.
Yes. I'm just looking now. One potential issue with the next, we're probably going to get a lot of this ugly eye shading thing that the anime likes to do, and because all of the eyes aren't shown, this will probably be on an extreme. I'll have to get over it. I think every shot is going to be this. I
Just
like
deal
that
with
even Ymir's face in the Titan is all like skeletonized, and like you don't even see her eyes there. It's a cool little motif, and
Yeah.
even in this shot here, it's still a skeleton. I guess it's always a skeleton. She's very
Yeah.
skeletal because her ribs are out everywhere.
Let's get that.
And
up
even
on-
like her
on
legs here, if you
screen
look.
for everyone.
I guess I've never really looked at the Titan too closely, but yeah, like her leg here thing, I think there's nothing here. Very skeletal. Which obviously Eren's Titan is eventually very skeletal too.
Yeah, it's very
Literally all
cool.
bone. Yes, I do like it a lot.
Maybe Ymir's just lazy and
And
can
you
be
still
bothered
think-
building herself a proper body.
Yeah. This shot too.
There's actually so
The,
much love for the Twitter on Twitter for the ending, which is nice. The ending hater clowns getting ratio left and right. Don't get me wrong, I love seeing the like. It depends why people hate the ending.
Yeah.
Like I like it when like the neo-Nazi Attack on Titan fans get ratioed on
Yeah.
Twitter for hating the ending. That's really funny. Like basically anything from Titan folk getting ratioed is hilarious. Like I can
Yeah.
understand dissatisfaction with parts of the ending because, like, at the end of the day, it was
Yeah.
still, even with the extra pages, it still felt a bit rushed.
Well,
Excited to
that's
see
like your
centipede
opinion,
things.
bro. But yeah, I get what you mean. I'm now remembering the specific tweet I saw. It was about the Eren incel page that I defended, even harshly at the time. Or it was Eren freaking out about the idea of Mikasa with a different dude. Um, the tweet had that page, and it was like, "This is actually a great character moment for Eren, and not him being an incel at all." And I was like, "Go on, brother, go on." But
This is a scene that
yeah,
I cannot
that
wait
was
to see. Just the start of "Hear Me, All Subjects of Ymir," where it just, I really hope the anime doesn't have like some
oh
big flashy, transition into past. Like I really hope that it literally just goes from them being at Shinganshina to them
yes,
not to
the
them being in
Flash,
past.
yes.
Like just instant. That I think has to be like spot on.
I think like a flash and like no sound effect, just like a flash, and it like flicks on and on like a light, like a faulty
Yeah.
light a few times. That would be really cool. That
And
being said,
I
the
wonder
battery's
what
getting a
Eren. I
little
wonder
low.
if Eren's gonna get. I wonder if they're gonna mess with the audio for Eren's voice actor when he's in paths and talking through
Yes.
the Founding
What
Titan to
is it?
sound.
Titan's gonna sound like? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm mildly excited. I'm not downtrodden. I'm ready. This
Yeah, I
this
know,
manga
but
volume is still really cool. The
it,
Mikasa one ahead of all the Colossals.
yeah,
At the
31's a
beginning,
really good one.
123. Oh,
I think that like 32 is a
I
bit
jinxed it.
whatever. 33 I thought was phenomenal, and 34 was beautiful.
I don't remember 32 or 33. I must
So
admit.
32 is like the
Hold on, I
Resistance.
can do 4 plus and I can see it. Ah, yeah, I think I remember now. If we go to 27, no, there must have been, I think I've counted wrong. It'll be the next one, I think. But I did just get a warning that the battery is going flat, so we've got about 5 minutes. Maybe the volume covers aren't on this website yet, but
They should
I
be.
remember the resistance. Well, I close a tab now. So if they are, they're gone forever in for this stream at least. Any closing thoughts? Because we do have to wrap things up here.
Yeah.
I'm excited for next week.
Attack on Titan's been popping off. It's like it's
It
wild.
has.
Like after what I think was maybe a bit of a shaky start for season 4.
With the recap stuff, I remember you not liking that too much.
Yeah, I did have an issue with that. I was like, but that was originally when I didn't think we were getting a movie. So I was just sort of sat there like, we do not have time for this. It's an issue I've been having with Demon Slayer as well. You should watch Demon Slayer, by the way. It's phenomenal.
I should watch a lot of things.
Yes.
But yeah. Yeah, I can't believe I'm on your side. I can't believe it. I'm down with the anime. I'm very much liking season 4.
I knew it would happen. It would happen eventually.
Yeah. I've been saying this a lot, that like the part 2s are always good, even though I don't really like the part 1s. That seems to be consistent.
Yeah, but you weren't a
season 3, part 3,
I take it you weren't much of a big fan of season 3 part 1 either.
No. We're skipping through my favoriteest stuff. Not my favoriteest stuff, but stuff I really like.
Yeah, having gone back to it, I feel like as far as seasons go, it's possibly. I mean, I don't know if it's as weak as season 1 part 1. Season 1 part 1 has a lot of filler in it.
Part 1 is in like the first 13 episodes, or
yeah, before the female Titan arc. I mean, the female Titan arc has filler as well, but it's not as.
Yeah, the season 1 has a bit of filler in there.
Thing is, I mean, I rank season 2.
I haven't watched season 1 in a long time.
I mean, it's hard for me to get. I mean, I tend to rank season 2. Oh, I don't want Telegram messages showing up. How do I? Let's just close that.
Are you going to say season 2 at the top or at the bottom?
Near the top. Season 2 is always like the Clash of Titans arc in the manga was always like one of my favorites. The Reiner Bertolt reveal, the fight to get Eren back from them, like Erwin losing his arm.
Yeah, that's all cool stuff. The
obviously Ymir
that
at that point Ymir was one of my favorite characters as well. Before they didn't really do much with her after that arc.
Yeah. The that season does have that one filler episode too.
Which one was the filler episode?
The one where they do the flashback with Eren, Mikasa, and Armin, where they're all kids. Where in the manga it's just one panel, but in that episode it's like half the episode is just them getting in a fight. It's like remembering the good old days with Hannes. I think it's like episode 8. Do you remember what I'm talking about now?
I think so. Are you on about after he's died or before? Because after he's died,
did I say
there's
season
like
1? Oh no, Hannes you're talking about dying, right?
Hannes, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's much before that. It's when he
Right.
like
Okay.
shows back up again and reunites with Mikasa and
Right. Oh, I think I know what you're on about. When they're on the
Eren.
top of the wall reminiscing before they set off.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they're
No, I
like
get what you
eaten.
mean.
Yeah, they
And they
dramatically
did
eat those
extend it as
bar
well
things.
because the Ymir flashback happens there rather than at the end of Return to
Yeah,
Shiganshina. You know what? I think that worked, just as a side note. I thought that actually worked because there was enough mystery there that you had no fucking idea what was going on. If you paid attention, you're like,
yeah,
hang on, that stuff looks way too modern to be.
yeah. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like a big reread and rewatch of everything is very much in order for me to get
Mhm.
updated thoughts about these things. But I
I'll be
remember
doing my
not liking it at
reread
the time.
at
But
some
yeah,
point.
yeah. Now that we Discord call, we could make a video series about it if we reread it or something. That's
Yeah.
an idea for
Attack on Titan
a
book
long
club.
way down. Yes, we'll get Bacon involved. One special chatter a week or something. We'll do a raffle. I don't know. But the laptop is going flat, so we do have to end things off here.
Okay, no worries.
Wait, how do we do? Well, these are going up on both YouTube channels. How do we do an outro?
I mean, I was probably going to
Do
outro
I
my
just do
stream.
my outro?
You do your outro. I'll
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
do
yeah.
my outro for my stream afterwards.
Should we end the call then and do our individual outros?
Yeah, it's probably worth a shot, worth a shout. So it was good to speak
Well,
to
Mr.
you.
I think this was successful. I think
Yeah.
we had some fun here.
I'm down to
We
do it again after the
probably
next episode.
will do it
Maybe
next
plan
week,
ahead of
right?
time though.
Yes, yes. Not so impromptu, but all right. I'll see you whenever I stream next, or at least next week.
Yeah. See you later.
All right.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Okay, and the call is done. Just gonna close down some extra stuff and just do like a little, I guess, outro section for YouTube as well. Well, I hope that was entertaining. I had a lot of fun with that. That was it was genuinely great. So I don't really know. I mean, presumably myself and Kyle will do another one of these in the future. Don't know. Hopefully, if we do one after each episode, that'd be cool. But yeah, in the meantime, I'll speak to you all. I'll catch you all later, chat, because I have to get ready for work in half an hour. God, the last minute nature of this is good. But yeah, I hope everyone had a good time. Hope people found it interesting. What sort of viewers are we on? We've got some people sort of in, but also like maybe tabbed out as well. It's good stuff. But yeah, I'll catch you all later. Next stream is back to our regular scheduled content. Yeah, this was fun. But bye-bye for now.